Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission launched their Voter Education Week that commenced yesterday and will be continuing for the next 7 days. Today, the Commission launched their strategic plan for the years 2020 to 2024. Currently speaking is the IEBC Chairperson Wafula Chebukati. Let's listen in.
The Commission will come up, already has come up with, and this will be announced in due course, that we shall have multiple servers, not just one server, but several servers available, the media, the public, the candidates if possible, and political parties if possible, but a framework will be generated so that the information coming or being transmitted will be the same information in each of the servers. The ones who do IT can possibly explain that better. But the issue of having one server and that pre-serve information will not be there come 2022. And lastly, on that issue, we're working again in partnership with the Communication Authority of Kenya, whom we have held meetings and set up a joint technical committee. The Communication Authority, among other things, will undertake quality of service parameters for each and every polling station in the country, so that we know which polling station can transmit results which has 3G network. Now, those which may not have, then alternative arrangements will be made, and Kenyans will know in advance which polling station is unable to transmit, so that we don't get into a situation where there is suspicion and mistrust. So all those issues have been addressed, and just want to reiterate that the Commission is ready to work with any other stakeholder who I believe wishes to contribute towards the success of the upcoming general elections. As I said, this is not my day to speak. I would like the chief guest to, I'm sure the chief guest has a longer speech, so let me not take too much time. Without much ado, it's now my singular honor to invite the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Madam Anna Madi, to give the keynote speech. And please welcome her with a warm clap. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair Mr. Wanyonyi Chebukati, as I've known you for the last 30 years or so. Honorable Chair, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am here on behalf of the Honorable Chief Justice Martha Koome, who would have loved to be here to celebrate this occasion with the Commission, but due to unforeseen circumstances, she was unable to join us. She has conveyed her greetings and goodwill message to you, Mr. Chebukati, Chair of the Commission, all the commissioners, and indeed all the invited guests. I'm pleased to be here. I was privileged to attend the launch of the IEBC strategic plan 5 years ago, and I do not take it for granted that I've had the opportunity and privilege to share this moment with you. So I'll go straight to the speech of the Chief Justice, and this is what she has to say. Ladies and gentlemen, we gather here today to launch the IEBC third strategic plan for the period 2020-2024 and other resultant procedural instruments like the Boundary Review Operation Plan and the Election Operation Plan, among other manuals, that will provide a roadmap for the Commission's programs and activities as it prepares to conduct the 2022 general election. It is indeed gratifying to note that the Commission, in readying itself to carry out this onerous responsibility, has decided to codify their strategic priorities. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, established as a constitutional commission under Articles 88 and 248 of the Constitution of Kenya, and administered under the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Act of Kenya 2011, is a very critical electoral governance institution in this country. Given the heated political climate that we find ourselves in every 5-year electoral cycle, and this was alluded to by Honorable Tuju, it behoves both our institutions, that is the IEBC and the judiciary, charged with the responsibility of administering elections and adjudicating disputes arising therefrom, respectively, to have in place mechanisms that will ensure transparent and accountable processes. Ladies and gentlemen, after the 2007 post-election violence witnessed in this country, the judiciary set out to develop an effective and efficient electoral dispute resolution process that was ready and in place in the run-up to the 2013 general elections. This process was steered by the Judiciary Working Committee on Election Preparations, which was mandated with advising the judiciary on administrative measures and systems for monitoring and evaluating the management of election-related disputes in court. This was for the sole reason of ensuring the efficient disposal of electoral disputes. And this process entailed, among others, the design of a capacity building program for our judges, judicial officers, and staff on electoral matters, stakeholder engagement, and a public outreach strategy designed to inform the public on the election dispute resolution process. Ladies and gentlemen, the experiences gained from 2013 electoral dispute resolution period informed the need to convert the then ad hoc Judiciary Working Committee on Election Preparations to a permanent committee. Thus, in August 2015, the Judiciary Committee on Elections, or JCE as we call it, was made a standing committee to provide a mechanism to assist the judiciary prepare for the discharge of its mandate on electoral dispute resolution. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2018, we had and determined 388 electoral dispute cases compared to 188 in 2013. That was an increase of 200 cases from the previous election. Remember that our electoral legal regime gives very stringent timelines that must be kept, and all cases of this nature must be completed within 6 months. So with this huge increase, of course, was the pressure on the judiciary. So the challenge that I want to pose to the IEBC is, how can we minimize this? In 2022, going to 2023, when the dispute resolution processes will be going on, do we have a role in ensuring that we minimize this number? And I say this taking into account a country like Ghana that only had 7 electoral disputes in their last election. So what I was asking myself, is it that the people of Ghana trust their electoral commission more than we do, or is it that Kenyans are more litigious than our brothers out there? So it is something for us to think about even as we launch this very important document. The launch of the IEBC strategic plan, operation plans, and manuals could not have come at a better time for us at the judiciary. Preparations on electoral dispute resolution has started now in readiness for 2022. And our judges, our magistrates our staff need to be acquainted with the new areas introduced, especially around scrutiny of documents and other components of the electoral operations. The Judiciary Committee on Elections has been consulting with all stakeholders, including the IEBC, and Chair has alluded to this, in formulating various rules and regulations to guide the conduct of electoral disputes in our courts. This also goes to the Political Parties Disputes Tribunal that deals with the party primaries disputes. It is therefore gratifying to note that the Commission on its part intends to pursue citizen-centered strategic interventions, including review of the organization structure to meet changing needs and expectations, continuous engagements with partners and stakeholders, and strengthening collaboration with both state and non-state actors. We see this as a great opportunity to further engagement with the judiciary as we prepare for the next phase of electoral dispute resolution. Ladies and gentlemen, the COVID-19 global pandemic has made it necessary and imperative for us to change the way we have traditionally conducted our business everywhere. And this calls for re-engineering of our processes. It is noted that in this regard, the Commission, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, has developed protocols that will enable the seamless execution of the Commission's constitutional mandate on elections and boundary delimitation. Funding for the various planned targets is required, in fact, timely funding, and we request those responsible, the National Treasury, the National Assembly, all partners to support the Commission in order to realize the funding that is required for this important institution. It is on record, ladies and gentlemen, that in the lead up to the 2017 elections, key institutions
That is the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Anne Amadi, addressing the forum currently happening at the Bomas of Kenya, where the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission today is launching its strategic plan for the years 2020 to 2024, among other instrumental documents, which include the Election Operational Plan, Boundaries Review Operation Plan, of course, going to inform how the Commission prepares for the 2022 general elections. We'll be following up that story for you, and we'll give you details.